Uncraftables here, and I've been asked how does our little moving floor here work, and it's coming night. So today I'll be showing you how to build one. And first I'm just going to give a demo on how it works. So basically, I'm going to put another lever out here so it's a bit easier for us. So see what happens is, remember our toggleable clock from last week? You know, this doesn't have to be a lever, it can be just a redstone input here from here. That could turn it off. So what I have is that lever in there, it gets output through there, but I turn that one off and I have another lever there so we can control it a bit easier. And then I'll turn this whole setup off. So right now it's off. You can see there's nothing on, everything. So what happens is these are the two outputs, and there are two outputs going in different directions. So first this line of pistons will go because there's another delay further down there. So first this line, then I'll push all these blocks forward and have them over this one. Then all these pistons will fire one tick later, pushing them up. Now we just continue up this line of redstone. Then these ones are delayed even more because there's repeaters going into the backs of them. Then I'll push them over. And then finally these ones are delayed there. Then they're delayed. And then when the thing gets pushed in here, then one tick later gets pushed down back to the start. And then the whole thing starts again. So let us see that in action. So as you can see, if you're watching carefully, you'll see that they each fire one after another now. One tick is 1/10 of a second, so you might really notice it, but eventually you'll notice it if you're very accurate in tenths of a second. And it might look like sometimes it isn't actually getting pushed down, but that's because of lag, and it actually is getting pushed. Sometimes it looks like it just gets frozen there. But it never actually gets frozen. That's just lag and stuff like that that's making it do that. At certain times it may see, look there, it actually is pushing it down all the time, but it's just lag that's making it look like it isn't. Now if we go in here, then we'll see. Let me go down. We have our moving floor again. Now I think that now we can disable it, but of course we're not going to because it's interesting, I guess. Now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to turn this one off, and I'm going to show you how to build one of your own. Yes. Okay, so we will be using this wooden planks, and I'm going to get stuff out of my redstone part. Yeah, that seems fine. First, we'll build our toggleable repeater, because that is very important, because we don't want our floor to be moving constantly. And I did this the wrong way around. And for now on, we'll just use that as our source of power. And then what we'll want to use then, wait a second. I think I was doing it a bit awkwardly. Yeah, I was, because it's gonna go in the side. I'm just gonna move this around a bit. I'm gonna try and put it in line with this, except I'm gonna have it going backwards. I'm not going to bother to get my line, even though I badly want to know. But, guess I'll find out after the recording. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm creating so much these days. I really should have been more prepared. I know how to build it, so yeah. And just bring that back around there. And then we have our clock here. This will basically just keep on out pushing. So then no, turn. Now we'll have a thing there and a thing there. And this one will, did I use laser there? I didn't. I'll just do a small one just for demonstration purposes, because that one I did have a lot of time, and I don't want this to be like a huge file when I'm recording and stuff. I don't want this to be like a, I'm gonna invert it before it comes out there. So yes. because I don't want it to have that glitch we just saw there. This will also put a delay on it if we invert both ends. If we invert both of them, now have a delay. As you saw there, it was going to be that wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah, we said only a small one, so then I'll bring. Wait a second, no, we have to have a delay. And since that one already has another delay, we're going to set that to 2 ticks. And I was doing something a bit jerky there. You can make this as big as you want, really. I'm just going to do a small one because I don't want the YouTube upload file to be massive. Then I'm just going to put that 2 above. Yeah, no, 1 above. And this actually has to be 1 behind it because you want it to push up and I want there to be pistons there. Piston, piston. Oh, wait, now I have to have this like 1 higher so it doesn't get affected by the redstone that's there. Because that would cause a problem. Cause a pretty big problem. And we're going to bring this up. And as you see, since these ones have repeaters, what we can actually do here, so we don't actually have to delay it coming up, we can just use repeaters putting it into it, and then that will be enough delay. And there. And now all you want to do is bring the redstone back around, delay it here, so that this has another tick after. And then we will want to, so it's in. Yes, and this will be pushing over there. We want this one to come up by 2. Yeah. And down and down. Wait, no, we're gonna want this to be 1 higher. There. Oh no. There. So then, just gonna this come up a bit. And yeah, we're not have a delay. Here. Now this actually does have a much more significant redstone use, so I might be covering in later redstone guide videos, but it is pretty advanced, significant redstone use, so I will not actually be covering it for a while. So now I guess we'll just put these blocks in. I'm gonna put there. I'll just do like an alternating pattern so you can just like see it. In case you're wondering what these blocks are, it's basically a mod that I made. I'll probably be putting a video on my channel up about it soon enough. Yes, there, okay. So then we're gonna want that, and that. Let us turn this on and see if I've gotten everything right. And it seems to be rotating. Now what you could do is then you could just like build up a thing here. You could just like have a wall here. And as you see, since this is a small one, we can already do it for 1 block, but look, it alternates now. So you can make this as wide as you want. You can do whatever you want with this. Really, this is just the basic thing for it. And also what you could do is you could just have it so that, let's say, you can just do that, you know. I'm actually going to use it as the default block because in case I uninstalled a mod, I'm going to want it to be like a proper block. And there. So you might want to have like that hooked up to some switch in your house, you controllers or something. I don't know. You do whatever you want with this. Really, I don't really mind what you do with it. I'm like licensing it. And why is this not pushing? Okay. Oh yeah, it's because we don't actually use the inverters now since we have that set up. You use the inverters, no mess it up. So don't actually use the inverters. Sorry about that. It was gonna mess up the redstone there. Don't use the inverters. As you see, it was lag there. It was showing it wasn't pushing. See, that's pretty cool. And yeah, and that's all for this video, guys. And goodbye.